Hello, welcome to Bildung and Culture. In the series 101 Book to Form a Soul, we propose today an analysis of the Theaetetus of Plato. The author is Plato. The book is in the field of philosophy and it's a dialogue. The main theme of the work is knowledge. Secondary themes are myotics, the soul, true opinion, science, sensation, perception, relativism, and the whole and the part. Historical context. Socrates is about to die and be sentenced to death. The Athenian city was in full decay. It is in this rather heavy context that the question of knowledge is raised. It is clear that the decline of Greek society was accompanied by a form of apology for it in the scientific, artistic, and philosophical fields. In posing the question of certain knowledge, Plato raises the question of the relationship between knowledge and the political order, which is in the process of breaking down. The political dimension of this work will be marked in the laws. The dialogue on politics, which questions the knowledge of the politician, is also a fundamental text. The Theaetetus, for its part, is characterized by the demonstration of incontestable knowledge. It has been said that Plato's plan was to write three fundamental dialogues, designed to identify three types of person: the politician, the sophist, and the philosopher. We have a dialogue on the first two types. However, the dialogue that would have been entitled "The Philosopher" has never been found. One suspects that it was never written. Nevertheless, we may wonder whether the Theaetetus, in its complexity and by the very nature of its subject, does not have philosophical knowledge as its object. It is probably necessary to answer this question in the negative. Yet, it is clear that there is a familiarity between scientific knowledge, as understood by Plato, and the philosopher's theme. Plato may never have given a clear answer to the problem of the philosopher, of what the nature of a philosopher might be. But the dialogue here can be seen as revolving around this question. Why read this text today? Socrates appears in the dialogue as one of the main characters. Along with the Philebus, it is the only major Platonic dialogue to use Socrates as the main character. The dialogue is what is known as apoetic. It leads for a kind of impasse that is nonetheless fruitful. It genuinely gives us food for thought. Socrates defines myotics as his own activity. We know the story. Socrates' mother was a midwife. Socrates will have a similar activity. His work will consist in giving life, but this life will not be that of the body, but rather that of the soul. Socrates did not teach, but allowed life to blossom through this technique. Socrates explained. However, I have at least one attribute that is peculiar to midwives. I am unfit for the conception of knowledge. And what many have already opposed me with, namely that I question others, but that I myself answer nothing about anything, because there is nothing learned in me, is a true fact that they oppose me with. And the cause of this fact is this: to give birth, the God forces me to do it, but he stops me from begetting. One may say this is the paradoxical position of philosophy. The philosopher does not possess knowledge. He is a power of questioning. But does this mean that there is never any knowledge and that science never exists? Naturally, the dialogue does not subscribe to such a point of view. On the contrary, it establishes a kind of genealogy of science. It begins by examining the problem of science as sensation and shows the difficulties involved. By giving birth to the opinion of the sophist Protagoras, he shows how all this leads to an untenable relativism. He ends up saying that the science is not sensation, but true opinion, then true opinion accompanied by definition. It is through this subtle dialectical interplay that the dialogue takes its most modern turn. It prefigures what modern science will deal with in the Gestalt psychology. A form is a totality that is more than the sum of its parts, we would say in the 20th century. But this is precisely one of the hypotheses put forward by Plato in the dialogue we are discussing. He raises this possibility even if it's only to reject it. Socrates says, so the whole will be different from the total, as we are now saying. Yes, but so what? Can the whole and the total be different? We may say that philosophy has never been able to settle this abyssal question.